Hello, hockey fans. Tonight is the big night in the NCDC. We announced the USPHL NCDC All-Star rosters. Who made it, who's playing in a big game, and who will be there on Martin Luther King Day at the beautiful, the wonderful, the splendid Merrimack College's Lawler Arena. The big one, the big announcement coming up next. Welcome to the 2020 NCDC All-Star Selection Show presented by the Dan K Show. Before we start unveiling those rosters for Team American and Team National, I introduce into the show my left-hand man, my consigliere, the man you hear on every broadcast, and the only man in the world who can make the Dan K Show as perfect as it is, Lucas Jones.
Well, Dan, perfect is a tough motto to try to live up to. But when it comes to being as close to perfect as you can be, the players that we are about to announce, I mean, it's about as good as it gets.
That is it. Let me lay the scene for you. The teams will be split up by standing at the time of these player selections. The coaches voted on the selections. They have been split into two sides. Team American. Team American will be coached by Toby Harris of the New Jersey Hitmen and Bill Flanagan of the Northern Cyclones. And Team National. Team National will be coached by Mike Anderson of the Boston Junior Bruins, the defending Dineen Cup champion head coach Mike Anderson, and Jim Henkel of the Connecticut Junior Rangers. We will also have a fun little wager on it with the Dan K Show the same way we did last year. Here's what will happen. Dan K will be representing Team American. That'll be Team Dan K for me. If Team American wins this game, I get to choose Lucas's parting words on the show after this All-Star game. If Team National wins, or Team Lucas J, for the second year in a row, he will get the Lucas J Show where he gets the host and he gets to decide all the topics, all the everything, and I have to sit here and just deal with it. So now, let's get into the All-Star rosters. Let's get going. Again, Martin Luther King Jr. Day will be the date. It'll be at Merrimack College's Lawler Arena. We'll start with Team American, again coached by Toby Harris and Bill Flanagan. This team is made up of Jersey Hitmen, Northern Cyclones, South Shore Kings, Twin City Thunder, Pal Junior Islanders, and Utica Junior Comet stars here. Top forward line here, Lucas, we get right to it. Daniel Ibrahim of the Jersey Hitmen. He'll be joined by two Hitmen teammates. How about Mickey Burns, who's burnsing them up, and Liam McClinsky. Lucas, there is points aplenty on this line.
There is, and we can talk about the statistics, we can try to figure out the storylines here, but it all comes back to Mickey Burns. He's leading the league in almost every conceivable scoring category, and if he's not leading, he's in the top three. He's had an incredible season so far. He's a year 2000. This is a hockey career, Dan, that I think only goes up.
Mickey Burns, 11 game-winning goals this year. He is ice water in his veins. He is locked down, and he is really good.
Mickey Burns has been unbelievable this year. We went through a lot of injuries early in the season, giving up, losing about 9 guys to IR at one time. And, he put the team on his back, not only on the ice, but off the ice. I mean, he was a unanimous vote for captain on this team. And scoring 11 game-winning goals this year has been unbelievable, especially 27 is an amazing number, but, almost 50% of those goals being game-winning goals. That just shows how important he's been to this team. And I tip my cap to him because he's been in the rink since learned to skate when he was 5 years old. So never a grass is greener the other side. A kid that always worked hard, a kid that comes from a great parents, great family, and I can't say enough good things about Mickey, and he's going to have a tremendous, tremendous career in Hockey East for University of Vermont.
Let's move on to the next line here. Tommaso Alvera of the South Shore Kings makes the squad. He'll be joined alongside him by Nicholas Bretschneider of the Northern Cyclones and Zach Raybaum, who is the bomb, man. This guy is bombing them home all year long. 10, 13, and 23 for him. He's got 5 power play assists, 1 for 1 in the shootout situations. And Lucas, Nicholas Bretschneider is also a real talented center.
Yeah, I mean, Brett Schneider can really do it all, and call this your power play line here, Dan, because this is a line of players that does really well in the power play, including Alvera, who is leading the team in points per game. He's a 99. He brings a lot of experience to the second line.
This is a really, really talented triumvirate here. Let's move to another talented triumvirate. This one, I am really excited to see these guys. If they're going to put them on the ice together, I'm excited to see them skate together. Josh Waters from the Jersey Hitmen makes the squad, 723 and 30 on the year. Centerman from the Twin City Thunder, my boy right here. This is my guy, Andrew Kurapov. I call him the Rocket. This guy is speedy. He's quick. He skates so well without the puck. And he's a Derek Stepan type, a creator. 25 assists on the season for Kurapov. To his right will be the Jersey Hitmen's Alex Mosian, who there's no Mosian around for this guy. He is solid.
Yeah, this is going to be a dangerous third line here, Dan. More power play success to be found. And, I think this is one of those situations where it's just flat out speed. These guys are quick.
They're really quick. And let's talk about getting to the next line really quick. Our final three forwards on Team American, Team Dan K. Gentlemen, you are going to represent me well. I know it. Let's go to Artem Buzavaria of the PAL Junior Islanders. And this guy, you got a friend in him if you're a fellow scorer on this team. 22 assists for him. He's got 31 points on the year, leading the team in points and assists. He'll be joined by teammate Ryan Gaulin. Ryan Gaulin, a big-time name in this NCDC. He's a really, really talented year 99, a guy looking to take that next step in his future, and he will have no problem doing it. The final forward to make this squad, right winger from the Twin City Thunder, Christian Blomqvist. And Christian Blomqvist is a guy who's just real balanced in the way he plays the game. Young, a year 01, and a big future ahead of him.
Yeah, Blomqvist has impressed so far, and Buzavaria as well. He's kind of a short-handed hero over there, Dan. One short-handed goal, one short-handed assist. That can be dangerous, especially in an All-Star game where things tend to get a little freewheeling from time to time.
All right, we've seen the goal scorers, the goal getters, the guys who are going to be out there with all the skill and speed. And we look at the defensive side of the ice, and in these All-Star games, this is where, as a defenseman, you get to get a little bit froggy here. You get to get a little bit more creative, and it's such a fun environment for you. But what I do love about the team that has been put together here for this side, this is a defensive-minded defenseman group right here. These are guys who block shots, hit hard, play a full 30 minutes a night. These guys are the best of the best on the defensive end. This is going to be a team that might actually play some real big-time defense in the All-Star game.
Yeah, normally defense and block shots are my thing, but we've sort of taken a reversal here in this All-Star game here, Dan.
I do have a team that can lock you down defensively. Let's take a look at that first D pair. Devin Kasparik of the PAL Junior Islanders for the second consecutive year. He's going to get the All-Star nod. This guy is absolutely stellar. So good that before we get to his D partner, let's go back to Toby Harris and see what he had to say about Kasparik.
Devin Kasparik has been in this league for 2 years. He's a guy that, oddly enough, we tried to acquire in the past, but PAL has a good eye for talent, and Kasparik is amazing on the back end, and the way he slows the game down, the way he's able to see the ice, the way he's able to make big plays at the right time. A true general on the back end, and can't say enough good things about him and what he brings to that club. I know in looking at InStat for pre-scouting, we see he's playing 26 to 28 minutes a night. I think if they could put him on the ice for 32 minutes, they would. But he's an unbelievable defenseman with a ton of upside, and Plattsburgh State got a really good guy in Devin Kasparik.
Tell you what, big words from an opponent right there. Coach Toby Harris of the Jersey Hitmen, nothing but good things to say about Devin there when we talked to him, so we put him on camera. We wanted to hear it from him. Next up, joining Devin is going to be Kevin Sadowski of the Utica Comets. The Utica Junior Comets, Kevin Sadowski is a large and in-charge defenseman. 8 goals, 13 assists on the year, 4 power play goals. He's got 2 game winners. He's a year 99. This is the time to shine for Sadowski. It's going to be a big day for him out there on the ice.
Yeah, and the Utica Comets, they do such a great job on the defensive end of the ice. It's one of the hallmarks of that squad, so we're going to get to see Sadowski. He's going to be challenged quite a bit.
That's exactly right. Talk about being challenged. These two guys challenge everybody they play. These are the Bill Flanagan pairing right here. We got two Cyclones, and you know when guys are wearing that defenseman label with the Bill Flanagan squad that they're going to bring that torch mindset. They're going to block shots. They're going to be the guy. Let's talk about a guy who has been my guy since day one. I have talked about this guy, and he gets the All-Star nod this year. So deserved, so well deserved for Bryce DeFazio. The Bryce is right for this guy here. 3 goals on the year. All came on the power play. All came during a Dan K Show free game of the week when he had a 3 power play goal hat trick against the Twin City Thunder earlier this year.
Bryce DeFazio, unofficially 11 feet tall on skates down there on the ice. He's a big presence, and we've watched him improve since year one as well. He's picked up the speed, he's picked up the skill, he's picked up, the stick handling, so he's a really complete defenseman. This defensive pair makes me sweat for what my boys are going to have to go through in this game.
Let's talk about his partner there. It's going to be the man, the myth, the Roman Lednev here. And this guy, man, this is a situation where if you're on the other side, you're going 8-2 Brute. Instead, it's 8-2 Roman here, man. Roman Lednev, this guy is made of lead. He's running through people. He's powerful. He's a tough-minded guy. 10 goals on the year from the defensive side. Bryce DeFazio kind of allows him to get a little bit more creative, and I love these two together in this All-Star game.
Yeah, this is a good pairing. This is going to be right hand, left hand, just getting promoted. This is going to be just another game for the two of them.
That's right. And how about this next D pair? Tyler Borsch of the Jersey Hitmen and Nicholas Chioka, also of the Hitmen. 2 Jersey Hitmen skaters here on a team that has been a lockdown defense, as close to unbeatable as you can be all season long. This Hitmen team, I've called them the Avengers. The Avengers since day one. They didn't go out the way they wanted to go out last year, and they are out for a vengeance all year long.
Yeah, I mean, this is a squad that is definitely looking to right some perceived wrongs from last year, and these 2 defensemen are a crucial part of that. Borsch is a strong skater, and Chioka brings that little finesse, that little flair to the table as well.
Talk about finesse and flair and also some hard-hitting ability. Let's talk about our final defenseman with Team American, Team Dan K. It's Patrick Keegan. 5 goals, 11 assists of the Jersey Hitmen, a year 2000. I mean, when you have the best defense in the league, you tend to get a lot of defensemen on the All-Star team, eh?
Yeah, this is certainly a good nod towards Jersey. The lowest goals allowed total in the NCDC right now. They're a squad that's picking things up, if you can call it picking things up after starting the season the way they did. But they are heading with a full head of steam towards that Dineen Cup playoff.
You're talking about picking things up. I'm talking about stopping pucks. And if there is one place that this Team American team is shining so bright, it's everywhere. But also, it's in the net. You look at these 3 netminders we're about to announce, and you are absolutely jaw-dropped, floored with these guys. Let's start with the Jersey Hitmen's Gavin Abrick, man. And this guy is just bricking people, just stopping pucks everywhere he goes. Quick with the glove, good with the pad, gets the positioning down. He's 13-1-1-1. He's got a 1.67 goals against average. Never lost there, best in the league. He's got a 941 saves percentage. You want to talk about a 9-1? I'm real happy with you. 9-2, you're above average, babe. 9-3, greatness. 9-4 and above. What's going on here, gentlemen? You got a cheat code happening, and Gavin Abrick is the human cheat code right now for the Hitmen.
Yeah, he's not just a brick in the wall, Dan. He's the entire wall and then some. This guy is nearly unbeatable in almost every type of situation.
Speaking about nearly unbeatable, it's Henry Graham of the Pal Junior Islanders. He joined this team a little late this year, and when he joined them, things turned around. Him and Anthony Orleano in net have been so good together. Henry Graham gets the All-Star nod for this Pal Junior Islanders team. 7-4-1-1, 2.59 goals against average, a 931 saves percentage, 3 shutouts on the year. We called one of those shutouts for the Pal Junior Islanders with Henry Graham in net. Henry Graham gets the nod. So far, Gavin Abrick, Henry Graham, your 2 netminders for Team American. There's 1 more player left to go on Team American. Who is that player? Lucas, fake drum roll, please. That player is Isaac Johansson of the Utica Junior Comets. Isaac Johansson coming off of a big-time W in net against the Boston Junior Bruins just this last weekend at the USPHL Winter Showcase. 12 wins on the season, a .928 saves percentage. He's got a shutout in a year, and this is a guy who keeps his team in the game every time out.
And that's what you need. You need a guy that gives you that opportunity by being large and in charge in net. He's a game manager too. If the tempo's up, he slows it down. If the tempo's too slow, he's liable to throw that puck right back out there.
Dan K is going to win this game, gentlemen, and I'm going to give you a pep talk on game day. I'm going to let you know that we clear eyes, full hearts can't lose. That's what I think the saying. Maybe I messed it up. Who knows anymore? But again, this is going to be a great all-star game, folks. This Team American, a lot of creativity on it. Take a look at that roster right there. That is your squad for Team American, coached by Toby Harris of the Jersey Hitmen and Bill Flanagan of the Northern Cyclones. With that in mind, we're going to move on here to Team National. And Lucas, I think first we'll start with a conversation you had with Coach Jim Henkel.
Here now with Coach Jim Henkel, one of the two coaches that won me an All-Star Game last year and won me my own show. Coach, thanks for joining us today. Let's talk about this All-Star Game. Why are you excited to get another chance behind the bench to coach this USPHL national team?
See if we can get you another day of your own show. It's a great honor to be here. A lot of this goes to my team and their performance to get me into this position, and I owe them a huge debt of gratitude for their performance at this point to get me there. But anytime you can be around this type of talent and be in this environment, it's fun. You see some really good skill on display. Kids go out and they have a lot of fun. They enjoy it, and when they go out and enjoy it, you kind of see the best of what they can do.
And why should a kid be excited? Why should a player be excited about being picked for an All-Star team? What's the practical benefits of playing on All-Star Monday?
You lose a day off, and you have to travel and all that. And it's probably the downside of it, but there'll be plenty of colleges there. This is your opportunity to show your best against the best in the league, offensively, defensively, netminders wise. In addition to that, there's a lot to be said of performing for yourself, but also for your organization. And then there's some added benefits when it comes to the recruiting process. Sometimes you get some outside coaches like myself or Mike or Toby that can put a good word in for you as how you are as a character kid on the bench. And yeah, I get it. It's an all-star game, so the environment's a little bit different, but true colors usually shine through no matter what type of game. So you get a little different aspect, and we can give them a little bit of help as well. So.
Thanks a lot, Coach. And we'll be checking back in with Coach Henkel when we get to these player announcements. I think he'll have more than a few words to say about a few kids.
All right, hockey fans, welcome back to the USPHL NCDC All-Star Selection Show presented by the Dan K Show. We've talked about Team American. You know who's on one side. Let's talk the other. This will act as Team Lucas J, as you heard Jim Henkel allude to in that interview. He said he's not going to let you lose. He won it for you last year. He'll try to do it again. Team National is going to be coached by Mike Anderson and Jim Henkel. Mike Anderson of the Boston Junior Bruins, the defending Dunedin Cup champs, and Jim Henkel of the Connecticut Junior Rangers. The Boston Junior Bruins, Boston Bandits, Connecticut Junior Rangers, Islanders Hockey Club, the New Hampshire Junior Monarchs, and New Jersey Rockets will make up this side. Let's start with the top forward line for your side, Lucas, and these guys start with a bang here. Johnny Hockey Malera. Johnny Hockey, man. Johnny Malera, 48 points on the season. 29 goals for this young man. He is stellar for the Boston Junior Bruins. He's joined by Ian Carpenter and Jared Thomas.
Is Ian Carpentier, the Yale commit. You coach against him. He always finds a way on the score sheet, but having him on the bench and being behind the bench and seeing what he can do firsthand is really going to be something special for me. He's had a really good year, earned his commit to Yale, which I'm super excited for him about. His offensive dynamic is going to show through in this game, and I think it's going to be him and Malera really having a good combination going through the game. Hopefully put us on the winning side again.
Yeah, this is a great top line. I love what Jared Thomas has been doing so far this season. Second in the NCDC with 11 power play assists. Ian and Johnny. It's your nature to just go Johnny.
Johnny.
Because we've said that name so many times, but you talk about Ian and Johnny working together. This is a great top line. It's an assist-heavy line. It's a points-heavy line. I'm excited to throw these guys out there on the ice.
This group here, folks, this is going to be creativity at its finest. The mitts are silky, the hands are fast, the skates are quicker. This is going to be a situation where it's hand down, man down. You lose sight of one of these guys in an all-star format, they're going to be putting on a show on the other end of the ice. Watch out for this triumvirate. Let's go to forward line number 2. And Lucas, you called this the I-95 line. This is Shane Shell of the Boston Bandits, Everett Wardle of the Connecticut Junior Rangers, and Harrison Bazianos of the New Jersey Rockets.
That's right, because if you want to see all of these skaters in a weekend, just start at New Jersey Rockets and take I-95 north all the way up to Bridgewater. This is a great second line. Shane Shell, let's talk about Shane for a second. 32 points on the season. He's really produced in the assist game, which I love to see. And Harrison Bazianos, 7 multi-point games so far this season, Dan. When he produces big. So if he scores a point early on in this All-Star game, expect him to be a repeat offender.
The guy I can't miss out on here is Everett Wardle. I look at Everett Wardle, the Connecticut Junior Rangers, and I just see a guy who up here has it all together. This guy is smart, he's heady, he's quick with the puck on his stick, head's always up, he moves that thing exactly where he wants it to go. And that's where you get 22 assists from, right? This is a creator, this is a guy who's selfless, this is a team guy, and this is someone who you want to be on his line, you want to be on the ice when he's on the ice when you're in an all-star format. Because he's not going to always be looking for the back end net. He's not a guy who's going to need to score 100 goals in this one. He's going to want to create, and you're going to get some chances, man. This is the alley-oop guy. This is the guy who's throwing it up the shack to throw it home. Watch out for Everett Wardle in this format. I'm saying 4 assists in this all-star game for him. Moving on, we've got our next line of Nicholas Nemo, Jin Lee, and Ryan Lovett.
Oh, this is an exciting line as well. I mean, Ryan Lovett has been good so far this season. He's another big assist guy. Jin Lee is so fast, and he eats minutes. He gobbles them up like they're going out of style. But let's talk about Nick Nemo as well. Coming into the All-Star game with a bit of a hot streak. In the last 5 games, he has scored at least a point, scored 7 points over that span. Yep. He's got the hot hand right now. I love him on this line.
Nicholas Nemo, little fiery guy. Ton of speed, creates a lot with his speed, has a ton of puck skills. Timmy Kierakostas has done a really good job of accentuating him and Gatto, putting them guys in really good spots to be successful. Point production is there. I look to see, IHC have a big second half, and those 2 guys are going to be the driving force behind it.
And I've talked with the folks before with Nick, and he is so talented, so good, so stellar. But I can't go without talking about Jin Lee. Jin Lee is, you want to talk about effort personified. You want to talk about the word relentless. Relentless is the best describing word for an athlete anywhere, anytime. If you are considered relentless, you are doing something right. And Jin Lee is relentless. He never gives in, never gives up. He plays the puck. I still remember a game from last season against the Pal Junior Islanders where Coach Henkel was fed up with the boys, and he kept Jin Lee out there for about 4 straight minutes because he had the best effort. He had the biggest effort, and he wound up creating a goal on a shorthanded chance. Jin Lee is special. Watch out for him in this one. Speaking of special, how about Colin Graff of the Boston Junior Bruins, Frankie Ireland of the Boston Junior Bruins, and Islanders Hockey Club's own Connor Gatto, who get the next forward line together. There, yeah. You see Frankie Ireland as well with him, and Frankie Ireland's a guy who creates. He's a creator, man. He's got 10 goals, 17 assists. He plays the system well, too. The thing about Frankie Ireland is he's a guy that just fits into whatever he needs to do. He's not a guy who needs to play his style. You don't have to change to him. He'll formulate to what you need and when you need it. Love the way he plays. And then Connor Gatto, man, he's been a Dan Cascio star of the game, the actual first Dan Cascio star of the game of the new season. Mm-hmm. We were out at the New Jersey Rockets home opener there. They were taking on the Islanders Hockey Club, and Connor was stellar. He was good. Let's talk about stellar. Let's talk about good. One last forward on this side, one last forward on this squad. It's Colton Friesen, who we call Mr. Freeze, and he says, "Watch out for the Ice Age."
Incorrect quotes from Mr. Freeze aside, Colton Friesen is really the kind of the adaptable story, right? Started off as a defenseman, then switches to a forward because the kid wants to score some goals, and who can blame him? But he's been producing in the assist department as well. Graff, Ireland, Gatto, Friesen, 4 guys who you can just kind of sprinkle anywhere on that in that line sheet, and they will produce, they will form. They're going to be my X factors.
When Coach Frew has some guy to talk big about, to really, really wax poetic on, I pay attention and I listen, and Colton Friesen was that guy for him. He is so good, so stellar, so dangerous. Let's move on to defensemen, and we start with defenseman number 1 before we get into our D pairs. We'll start with that extra defenseman first, because Coach Jim Henkel has something to say about Reed Miller of the Connecticut Junior Rangers, who makes the squad.
Reed Miller, our team captain for the Rangers, extremely happy for him and his production and where he's at, and his selection to this team. He does a lot more than anybody understands. He's an all situations guy for us. He works hard. Played last year, most don't know this, but played last year, the last third of the season with a torn labrum. Gutted it out through playoffs, had surgery over the summer, worked hard to get back and be on time, was ahead of schedule, came into training camp, earned the captaincy. He's just a guy that does it all. If I need something done within our group, he gets it done. It's a solid effort. He has the pulse of our team, lets me know on a daily basis what we need and don't need, and he's just a fantastic kid. I'm really proud and honored to have him as part of this group.
Lucas, obviously Reed Miller's a talented defenseman, but I mean, Coach Henkel talked to us off camera as well, just about how good of a guy he is off the ice and how important he is to that squad.
Yeah, I mean, even last year, Coach Henkel singing the praises of Reed Miller, and we've seen it in person. And Reed's a guy you got to go and check out in person, because when you're there and you're watching him and the kind of effort he puts in off the puck,
yep.
Reed Miller is just such a good skater, such a heady, intelligent hockey player.
Let's move on here to our next D pair. This D pair, 2 Boston Bandits, who steal away a lot of goals from folks, but they also hand out a ton of assists. Connor Sullivan and Kevin O'Keefe, and oh boy, has O'Keefe been good with 16 assists, 7 goals, 23 points. On the other end, Connor Sullivan, 6 goals, 24 assists for 30.
I love these defensemen. I mean, the Bandits, they just produce incredible stalwart defense. I mean, these two guys, not only will they check you through the boards, out of the arena, and back to the state you came from, but they sit up at that blue line and they create opportunities. They're assist machines. Connor's got 24 assists on the season, Kevin's got 16 assists on the season, and Connor, 12 points on the power play.
And you look at this next line, now it's 2 Boston Junior Bruins, and one place where Lucas's squad really gelled last year were the amount of defensive partners that got to play together on his squad, and you're seeing it happen again. So my boys are going to be battling against that as well. Michael Brown, what can Brown do for you? Every single thing. This guy is the Michelle Branch of hockey, man. He's everywhere to me, man. And when you close your eyes, it's Michael Brown you see, because you ain't getting away from this guy. This guy is Revis Island, locked down defensively. He creates offensively. He's got 3 game-winning goals on the year. Michael Brown is c'est incroyable. And he'll be joined by Louis Linder of the Boston Junior Bruins.
Yeah, and Lindner is just as effective, just as dangerous as Michael Brown. These guys, the defensive pairs, and any defensive pair will tell you, it's right hand, left hand. If you watch these guys get on the bus after a game, you can always pick out the D pairs because they're always walking together. And these 2 boys, when they get out there and start skating around, they're going to be locked in.
Luis is Mendoza fast, man. Luis Lindner is so good for the Boston Junior Bruins. This is a team that really relies heavily on their defense to step it up, to make big plays, and they have it from these 2. Let's talk about one more Boston Junior Bruin defenseman who makes the squad, Alex Cody. Talk about good defensemen, talk about guys you can rely on. Certainly this guy, great with the puck on his stick, great stick handling, able to keep the puck, able to confidently clear it on the PK. Joining him, Cam Speck. And Speck comes up huge at all times, man. There is nothing that's small like a speck in his game, man. He is a big-time player for the New Hampshire Junior Monarchs.
Yeah, I mean, Cam Speck is, a speck of brilliance, a dash of speed, and a whole bunch of talent all wrapped into one defenseman. He's been incredible this season so far. He's got a bunch of points on the power play, Dan. I like this pairing as well because Speck is the kind of guy that is right place, right time, but doesn't always show up on the stat sheet. And he's paired with Cody, who has 12 assists on the season. So he's kind of your general. He can find the openings. He can create the space. You get two defensemen that skate well without the puck, causing big problems, especially in the neutral zone.
It's been lights cam action all year for Cam Speck and the New Hampshire Junior Monarchs. Let's go to our final two skaters to make the squad, the final two team national players, two goaltenders, two netminders here, and they are two good netminders. First, it is a guy who is a gale force presence between the pipes. He's got 21 wins, not a big deal. Thomas Gale, who is stellar between the pipes.
Well, you talk about a guy who's at that save percentage. You love to see that .942. 2.1 goals against average so far this season. Folks, you know that I believe in building from the net out. You start with your goaltenders, then you get your defensemen, and then you sprinkle some forwards into the equation. Goaltending is where it starts and ends in the game of hockey, and I have full confidence in Thomas Gale's ability to absolutely shut down Team American.
We all know that I believe in double-digit point outputs and putting them up on the stat sheet at any point we can put them up, boys. Bar down and Selly when we can, but it's tough to bar down and Selly when this guy's in net. Tate Brandon. He's a broadcaster's nightmare because you always say his name backwards, but it's Tate Brandon of the Connecticut Junior Rangers. He's been a little dinged up this year. He's getting back on the healthy side, though, on his way back between the pipes. And Lucas, talk about saves percentage. How about the best in the league with a .945?
Yeah, you gotta love it. I mean, the kid's got two first names. I am one of the biggest Tate Brandon fans out here, and even I have called him Brandon Tate at 1 or 2 points of the season. But let's talk about a sub-2 goals against average,
yep.
1.94, the resiliency to come back from a little bit of an injury there, and the second half of the season is just an oyster waiting to be served up to Tate Brandon.
I cannot wait for this one. Team American takes on Team National. You know the rosters, you know the sides. Get out to Merrimack College's Lawler Arena for this one on Martin Luther King Jr. Day. We are going to have a fun time at this one. If you can't make it out, guess what? You can watch along with Dan Kay and Lucas Jones on Hockey TV. Hockey TV will have the broadcast. Dan Kay on the play-by-play, Lucas on the color commentary. Producer Lane is going to be running around taking pics for the day. We're going to have our Dan K Show star of the game at the end of that one. It will be a fun matchup. And now let's do Lucas's least favorite game. His least favorite part is put Lucas on the spot. Lucas, prediction for the game. Who do you think wins? What's the score?
I think my team's going to win this one, Dan. I think it's going to be 5-3. I think it's going to be 4-3. You guys are going to pull a goaltender. We're going to get that nice little empty netter to seal up the victory.
Who knows? With Bill Flanagan behind the bench, we may pull the goaltender in period number 1 and play a little 6-on-5 since we're going to block shots anyway as the squad. I got this thing. I think when you think it's going to be a defensive all-star game, it tends to open up. It tends to start being a little score-friendly. I think this is a 7-6 All-Star game. I think it's a late go-ahead goal from Team American. I think Team Dan K wins. I think I get to pick your parting words. I think it's going to be a fun one. Team American versus Team National. Tweet to @the_Dan K Show and let us know who you select. One lucky correct picker will win a Dan K Show t-shirt sent directly to you at home. So get out there @the_Dan K Show, Team American or Team National, with hashtag NCDC All-Star Game. Tweet at us, talk to us, follow the Dan K Show @the_Dan K Show on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Go to www.dankshow.com and get ready because it's All-Star time. Congratulations to all those who made the team so deserving. An incredible first half of the season is behind us. Nothing here but fun times ahead. It's nearly playoff time. It's almost All-Star time. Let's get it going. The NCDC All-Star Game 2020 coming at you. When Dan K's on the mic, it is always Hockey Night.